Hey crafting friend, today we're going to be doing the tutorial for the little, I think this is 6x8 wooden frame. And this is in the October Christing and Craft Kit. If you were part of that club, then that's what I'm going to be working out of today. And I do want to do a special mention. If you are in the Crafting and Christ Club or the Napkin Club for the month of October, I have partnered with Grace from Twirl and Pink, and she is giving away sets of earrings. You guys, these are so adorable. I looked on her site, these are worth $20. I can't even believe that she gave them to me to get to bless you. And then she's also got 20% off and a free shipping offer on the little card. So these are great for yourself or as a gift to someone else, because we are approaching that season where we're gonna need to be having Christmas gifts, and my daughter's birthday is in December, so birthday gifts, always good to have, or treat yourself. So thank you, Grace, for having those in our kits this month. So when you get the Crafting and Christ kit, it comes with the 10 new napkins. So 5 of each we have 5 designs, you get 2 of each. So you get 10 napkins, you get a scripture to craft with, and then you get miscellaneous papers that you can use, a treat, your Mod Podge, and your brush. And then this month's kit also comes with some mesh ribbon we're gonna be using today, and a cute little pumpkin cutout. I'm gonna be using that today too. So let me go through the other things I'm gonna be using today. So in the napkins that come with it, you get 2 of each. So I've messed them up because I picked which ones I was gonna use already, but there's Grace, Give Thanks to the Lord. I'm gonna be using that one today. I'm also gonna be using my Grace is Sufficient. I'm gonna be using those 2 together. Then we also have Fear Not, for I'm With You, with some nice sunflowers around it. I almost used that one, but I changed directions. And I almost used it because in my kit here, I had sunflower paper too, but yours is gonna be different because they're all different. And then let's see the other napkins. We have Rock of Ages is the hymn this month. And then Trust in the Lord with All Thy Heart, just a fun turquoise and checker pattern. So those are all coming in the kit this month. You can also, if you don't want the craft, you can get the napkins. Each month it opens at the beginning of the month. The designs open to get the Napkin Club, which is $12 a month plus shipping. And that's 20% off retail, plus you get access to all the new designs. And then you don't have to wait till the next month to get them. So that's kind of the spiel where we're at with everything. So I'm going to be using the frame today. And then I loved this frame because it has the hook where you can hang it. And then it also has like the little wood peg. You can sit in there if you want to stand it up. So love that. That'll be in the little peg is in the bag with your Mod Podge. I won't need that just yet. And some other things that you're gonna need to have that are not in your kit. I like to do the sanding block for the edges. I'll be using a glue gun today. We want water for our brush. I'll be using a big jug of Mod Podge. You'll have some in your kit if you get that. You'll also need scissors. I'm gonna grab a paper towel here and we will get started. So my thoughts for this one is I want to use the words from here, and then I want to use the pumpkins from here. And you could paint the frame if you wanted to. I think I'm going to leave it for now. I might go back and paint it later. There's not paint in your kit, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I'm gonna unfold the napkin and I'm gonna cut down just the portion that we're using. If this is the first time you're seeing or using our napkins, we do only print on the front side of the napkin. And that is because all of our designs, we design here, almost all of them in-house. And then we have them custom printed right here in the United States. And that is so that we can support US businesses, and also that we can have smaller print quantities so that we're not stuck with a bunch of stuff that nobody wants to buy, and it helps us keep our costs down that way. If we were to print on all sides of the napkins, we would have to then send it overseas, and the quality would go down, and the minimums would go up, and the pricing would go up. And so that is why we only print on the front side. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting the very top layer of the napkin. These are 3-ply napkins, and I only want the very top layer. And you can tell when you get it because it's practically see-through like tissue paper. Very thin. And I am going to take the inside out here. You could also just do the inside, and I thought about doing that, but I've done that on so many projects. I was thinking I'll do something different, and then maybe I'll put one of my son's Halloween costume pictures in here or something. I'll figure out something. Okay, so what I'm planning on doing is this almost perfectly, the little square here almost perfectly lines up with the frame. So I am actually going to use that as my little marker. And then I'm gonna have a leftover spot here, but that's fine because what my plan is to do is I'm gonna decoupage the pumpkin too, and I'm gonna put that over the top. So I'm just trying to I'm gonna tear the spots that I won't be using, just so I don't have so much in the middle to work with. And I'm probably gonna use these leaves in as well. I'm gonna try and use everything. All right, so we're just gonna put that up there. And this design has like little leaves kind of floating and stuff, so I'm probably gonna try and use those. We'll see how it works. Okay, grab my Mod Podge. And I'm doing the frame first because I wanted to have time to dry before I do the cutout, because we're gonna glue that there. So if I do it this way, we should have some time for that to dry. All right, so I'm gonna put the Mod Podge directly on the frame, and I'm covering the areas where I'm going to put it. Alrighty. I always forget to turn the fan off before I start these, and then my stuff is trying to kind of blow around on me. All right, so I am just pressing it on there, and then I am kind of going around the edges just a little bit so that I know it's all pushed down really well. And I'm gonna do just a thin coat over the top too. I kind of want that a little bit transparent. And then you can see where I tore it, my paper just kind of blends in there. All right, so nice and simple. That's how it's gonna be for right now. And then I am gonna go ahead and tear out some of these flowers really carefully because, or they're not flowers, they're leaves, because they are small. But I do want to incorporate them. I'm just gonna do the bigger ones because that little red one is like tiny, like split pea tiny. I don't know if you have like really good tear fingers, you might be able to get it, but I'm not trusting myself that well. Right, and I've got one more. I'm gonna cut out here. And then if you have other crafting supplies, you can always add to these kits, make it however you wanna make it. I try to just give a good basic, so if you don't have a lot of supplies, you have enough to do something fun. And if you do have a lot of supplies, then you just have more stuff to work with and to get more creative. Okay, so I am gonna focus on going up this side here. So I'm just gonna add, oops, and I did put it on a little bit wrinkly, so I'm gonna gently take it off and try again. And keep adding these. I'm gonna add that last one kind of just towards the inside here. So it just kind of looks like they're blowing up the side a little bit there. All right. So here's mine, and these are wet. And we will finish these edges once it dries a little bit. But for right now, I'm gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna work on the pumpkin. So for the pumpkin, I wanted to use the words inside of this one. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. And I'm just gonna cut out the spot that I need. And I kind of want to see where this is going to fit. And the easiest way to do these, because I have worked these pumpkins before, is sometimes it's easier just to stick the whole design on there and then just do the edges. If you're only doing one design. The other option, which I have done before, is to layer, to put another piece of paper there that has a design and then do the words over it. Let me see what options I have here. So I do have this sunflower one, and then I also have this one, which is more of a plain. I got a plain stain there, so I could layer these if I wanted to add some more texture, but I think I'm just gonna go with my original plan. And what I wanna do is I want to make sure that I get my wording on there. And I'm okay if the pumpkins and the leaves are showing. So I think that right there is a good, good. I'm trying to keep in mind, because I did want to do like a poofy bow, but I might put the poofy bow behind the pumpkin. I'm still deciding. Okay, so for these ones, I just always do one side and then the other. So I kind of just go to the middle and fan the Mod Podge out. And then you can lay your pumpkin down and work it from the inside out with just nice feather strokes. And then we'll rotate it and we'll do the same thing. You don't want to pull it back too tight, just enough to kind of hold it up so you can get the Mod Podge painted on there. Otherwise, it can give you like a little, almost like a seam in the middle, which I have done before. And again, I'm just lightly feathering out. Now you can see in this, I do have a little bit of bubble of Mod Podge right there. If you can see that, I'm not gonna work that too much, because if I do, I could tear it, which I have done plenty of times. So it does happen. Okay, so for right now, I just wanna make sure that I've got all my edges, which I do not, so I'm gonna keep working around the edges. Alrighty, I feel like we're pretty good here. Alright, so I'm gonna switch. Put this one over here. I'm going to put my brush in the water so I don't ruin one of my favorite brushes. I think we're done with the Mod Podge, so I'm going to close that. And then, like I said, I like to edge with the sandy block. You could also just use a fingernail file, but I'm just going to take it and you just push it away from you. You don't want to go back and forth, because then it will rip. It could rip your design up. But if you're just going the one direction, then it's just going to give you a really nice finished edge. So you can see like it's like the perfect edge. So if you're kind of OCD like me, this is a great way to do it. There's lots of other ways that you can finish the edge. You can just wrap it around. You can actually, when the Mod Podge is still wet, you can light the edge of the tissue on fire and it will burn up to the edge, which is super cool, but it does give you like a burnt look around the edge. So if you're not into that type of design, you may not want to do that one if you don't want it to look kind of antique-y. All right, so same here. I'm just gonna going in the inside, and I'll probably just cut this right at the corner so I don't pull it off trying to get it off. I'm the heck of a time figuring out how to hold this thing. Okay, I'll just keep working around the inside to get the rest of my design off. All right, we got that one. Kind of loving the all things pumpkins. I probably should have released pumpkins last month. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't far enough ahead, I guess. But I have learned my lesson. Next year we'll release pumpkins in September. I should just follow the Hobby Lobby schedule and then I should be right on time, right guys? Okay, so here is what we have. We have like nice clean edges in there. So it's perfect. I was gonna put my thing back in, but I think I will wait. All right, so we've got that part done. And then hopefully, since we didn't use too much Mod Podge, this is gonna be ready as well. We're gonna do the same thing. Just gonna clean up the edges. Just make sure wherever you're holding it is dry. Otherwise, it's gonna tear your design. We don't want that. Like, I don't want to put my thumb where that bubble is. Well, I'm gonna have powder. Okay, so I just had a spot right here where I missed the Mod Podge. So we are missing part of the pumpkin there. We're not gonna panic. What we are going to do is we're going to rip it off, that part that's missing, and I'm gonna tack it back on. So that's why I love Mod Podge, it's very forgiving. Actually, I have a super small brush over here. Okay, this is not the best brush, but it's the one I can find, so. Looks like one of my sons that came in a free kit of some kind. All right, so we're just gonna fill that little spot. And I can tell where it needs to go because of the white that was missing too. All right, I'm just gonna gently tap it in there. Don't work it too much like I just did. My gosh, this is when tweezers would be very good in this area. Which I usually have over here. I've had boutiques and everything is moved. Okay, I'm not gonna fuss about that, but I do have enough of it there that I think we're gonna be okay. The other option is I move my bow to the bottom and cover it up that way. Okay, so moving on. All right, the next thing we have, I wanna do is add a bow. And what my thoughts were, I was gonna just pinch some of this stuff and twist it and just make like a little bow. So get just a portion of this. I'm gonna cut it down. I kind of like, I'm gonna clean up this edge too. I feel like I've got hay and straw and all kinds of stuff here. Feeling very full. Okay. So initially, I thought was to do a little bow here, but what I want to do is I want to stack this and you know what? I think I'm going to take a little piece of jute. It's always good to have jute. Who doesn't have like all this string hanging around? Because I got a lot of it. I think this is 2 pieces. All right, so I am going to take the jute to help me get my little bow under control here. And I'm just gonna tie the little sucker. I'm really not the best at bows. Like I can do one kind of bow and it's with ribbon and that's like it. And then you can, I like this stuff because it is a little moldable. You can kind of make it however you want. Oh, I like it. It looks like a butterfly. Okay, so I'm gonna tie little strings to the, or little knots to the end here so that this looks kind of like on purpose. I still want to have gobs of glue on the back of my bow, so this kind of serves 2 purposes. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with this. Now, if you are going to use this as a frame that stands up, you're not gonna wanna put your pumpkin like down here because it won't stand up. You're gonna have to put the pumpkin higher. So I think I am gonna make it stand up. So I just wanna make sure wherever I put it, I've got, here, why don't we put the little, I put the little pull in it. I know how much room I have. All right, there we go. All right, so I do recommend to put the little pull in it if you are gonna use it to stand up so you know where to put your glue. So I'm just gonna put a dollop there. And make sure I've got it straight. Okay. Take that back out for a moment. And I can't remember which way I had it. It looked like a butterfly. I think it was this way. Okay. Okay, so now I've got to decide where I'm going to put the bow. And I think I'm going to put it actually right in that top corner to the frame, not on the pumpkin. Have a little generous dab there. Make sure that my little tails are down here. And it helped that I had that jute because I'm just going to use that to anchor it. All right, so I'm gonna put my inside back in. And then again, you could always, if you wanted to decoupage the inside and not use it as a frame, that's another option. I like projects like this that give you, more than one option of what you can do with it because it just allows for more creativity. So I'm gonna get this little sucker back in. You'll be doing good. So that is, I always have the glue hairs. There we go, that's the finished project. I would love to see what you make, so if you do end up doing this project or any of our projects, I would love to see them. You can always email them to support@Christian Craft Paper, or if you're not already, join us at our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group called Christian Craftaholics. We're always welcome to share your projects and connect with other Christian crafters. Until next time, happy crafting!